Close your eyes for just a moment, only a moment. I want you to imagine right now that you are spending a large amount of money. Not on a bill, not on an obligation. Imagine yourself buying something you genuinely love, something that makes your blood pulse, something that brings life into your days. Feel the object in your hands. Feel the experience happening. Now, before you open your eyes, I want you to take your attention to the center of your chest. What do you feel there? Is it pure pleasure? Or is there a shadow that arrived before the thought even finished forming? A tightening, a metallic whisper, a voice that needs no sound to be heard, saying, "Who do you think you are?" Open your eyes. That voice is not yours. It never was. Here is what nobody tells you about wealth. And I mean real wealth. The kind that stays. The kind that compounds. The kind that changes not just your bank account, but the way you carry yourself in a room. Nobody tells you that the ceiling is not out there. It is not the economy. It is not the market. It is not your education, your network, or the year you were born. The ceiling is a frequency, and it was installed in you before you had the language to question it. You have been trying to build an empire. Maybe not in those words, but the desire is there. You feel it when you drive past certain neighborhoods. You feel it when you see someone your age who simply looks unburdened. Like money is not a war they are fighting every month. Like it is just water, natural, flowing, assumed. And you wonder what they know that you do not. Here is the truth, and I will say it plainly. They are not smarter than you. They are not more disciplined. They are not more deserving. They simply were not handed the same measuring stick. The measuring stick you were given, the one that tells you what is too much, what is unrealistic, what is not for people like us. That measuring stick has a voice. And today, we are going to find out whose voice it is. Because until you do, you can read every book, follow every system, execute every strategy, and still find yourself back at the same number. Month after month, year after year. Not because you failed, because you succeeded at obeying something you never consciously agreed to obey. This is day 3 of 100. If you have been with us since the beginning, you already know we do not motivate here. We excavate. Yesterday, we pulled up the contract of scarcity, the invisible document that governs your relationship with money at a level deeper than thought. Today, we find the first signature, the original ink, the voice that wrote the first clause before you could even speak. Stay with this. What we are about to examine together is uncomfortable, not because it is dark, but because it is familiar. And familiarity is the most dangerous prison of all. There is a moment in every person's financial history that has nothing to do with money. It happens before the first job, before the first bill, before the first time someone told you what things cost. It happens in the kitchen, or in the car, on the way to school, or at the dinner table in the silence between what was said and what was meant. It happens the first time you felt the energy of lack, not as a concept, but as a temperature, a specific kind of cold that settles in a house when the adults are worried about numbers they will not say out loud. You absorb that temperature, not because you were weak, because you were a child. And children are the most precise instruments of emotional frequency that exist. You did not learn scarcity, you became it, quietly, completely, without a single lesson being formally taught. Your mother was a tuning fork, and when she vibrated, you vibrated with her, because that is what love does in its earliest form. It synchronizes. We have done the excavation, 3 layers deep now. The contract, the voice that wrote it, the character who has been honoring it. And I know what happens at this point in the process, because I have watched it happen, and I have lived it myself. You understand everything we have covered. You feel the truth of it somewhere real, somewhere below the thinking mind. And then, a very specific question arrives. Now what? Not with excitement, with exhaustion. Because understanding the cage is not the same as walking out of it. And you have understood this cage in various forms, through various teachers, in various languages before. You have had the insight. You have felt the shift. You have walked out of a seminar or closed a book convinced that something had changed. And then Tuesday arrived. The bill, the client who did not pay, the opportunity that dissolved, the month that ended exactly where the last one did, and the insight that felt so solid at the weekend felt like vapor by Wednesday. So I am not going to give you another insight today. I am going to give you a practice. There is a formula that governs your expansion. Not a metaphor, a structure, a way of understanding the specific variables that determine whether your growth compounds or collapses back into the familiar number. It looks like this. Your expansion equals will times courage, weight of retroactive maternal authority. Will times courage divided by the authority of the voice that told you what was possible. Read that again slowly, because the mathematics here are not complicated. They are devastating in their simplicity. It does not matter how strong your will is. It does not matter how much courage you generate. If the denominator, the authority of the inherited voice, the weight of the original frequency remains dominant, your expansion will always be fractional, always less than what the numerator deserves, always just enough to keep you hoping, but never enough to constitute arrival. So the work is not to increase your will. You have will. Anyone who has made it this far has extraordinary will. The work is to reduce the denominator, to diminish the authority of the voice, not by fighting it. Fighting gives it energy. Not by suppressing it. Suppression gives it mass. But by completing a very specific internal transaction that we call the vibrational weaning. Here is how it works. The first movement is identification. Take a piece of real paper, not your phone, paper, and write down the sentence you heard most often about money in your childhood home. The exact words, the exact tone, whose voice it was in. Write it as a direct quote, because the words carry the frequency, and you cannot transmute what you cannot see clearly. The second movement is the return. Look at what you wrote and say, out loud, not in your head, because the body needs to participate in this. Say, I honor your history. I understand what you were trying to protect me from. But this fear is yours, not mine. I am returning it to you with love, and I am keeping my life. Say it plainly, without drama, clean and complete. The third movement is the cleanse. Close your eyes. Imagine that voice as something with form, a color, a texture, a weight that lives somewhere in your body. Now imagine a violet flame. Watch it move through that weight slowly, the way heat moves through metal, from solid fear to something lighter, from ancestral law to simple history. Stay in that for as long as it takes. The body will tell you when it is complete. There will be a moment, subtle, undramatic, where something releases. Not everything. This is not a one-time cure, but something, a fraction of the denominator reduced. Your expansion correspondingly increases. The fourth movement is the decree. Stand up, not sitting, standing, because the body needs to understand that what comes next is not a thought or a feeling. It is a declaration. Place your hand on your solar plexus, the center of your personal power, just above the navel, and say this: the voice of scarcity is silent now. I am the authority of my own gold. My ceiling is the sky I choose. This is done. 4 sentences, said once, with the same tone you would use to close a business deal. Not emotional, not desperate, certain. This is the vibrational weaning. Not a one-time event, but a practice. You will do this on the days when the inherited voice is quiet, as maintenance. And you will do this on the days when it is loud, as intervention. Over time, not immediately, but over time, the authority of the denominator decreases, and your expansion begins to reflect what your will and your courage have always deserved. The mathematics become yours. One more thing before we close today. The people in your life who are still operating from the original frequency, the ones whose comfort has been quietly maintained by your ceiling, they will notice the shift before you do. Not necessarily consciously, but in the way they respond to you, in the subtle friction that arrives when you stop asking for permission, in the resistance that shows up dressed as concern. This is not a reason to distance yourself from them. It is simply information. It tells you that the vibrational weaning is working, that the denominator is decreasing, that the equation is beginning to resolve in your favor. We have been in this room together for a while now, and I want to take a moment before we close to acknowledge what actually happened here today. Not what you learned, what you felt. Because information at this point in your life is not what you need. You have information. You have read the books. You have listened to the podcasts, taken the courses, done the journaling. You have more information than most people on this planet about why you are the way you are. What you needed today was not more data. You needed someone to name the specific weight you have been carrying, the one that has no name in ordinary language, and say it plainly enough that your body could finally recognize it. Not as a problem, as a pattern. And patterns, unlike problems, do not need to be solved. They need to be seen. Because the moment you see a pattern clearly, fully, without flinching, it begins to lose its authority over you. Not all at once, but irreversibly. We found the first signature on your scarcity contract. Not a stranger's signature. The signature of someone who loved you imperfectly. A mother's voice, speaking the only truth she knew. I want you to notice something in your body right now. Not a concept, a sensation. There is often a particular kind of tiredness. That tiredness is not weakness. It is the feeling of the denominator shifting, of a ceiling that has been a ceiling for so long, beginning at the edges to crack. The air does not sprint. The air moves with the deliberate certainty of someone who understands that the territory is already theirs. We are on day 3 of 100. 97 days remain, and I will tell you plainly, they contain discomfort. But they also contain something I will not name yet. You will know it when you arrive. For now, one thing to carry out of this room, a single question. Whose permission am I waiting for? Every time you hesitate, every time you shrink the dream, ask that question. Whose permission am I waiting for? Take a real pen and real paper today. Complete the 4 movements: the identification, the return, the cleanse, the decree. And when you are done, come to the comments. Write, "This contract is null. I am the sovereign." Share this with 5 people who are still working for ghosts. Give them the name. That is enough. Subscribe to this frequency. Stay. Tomorrow, we look at the anatomy of lack. And tonight, before you sleep, take 1 breath longer than usual. Let the old voice know you have been heard, you have been honored, and you are no longer in charge. The stars are not waiting for you to be ready.